Welcome, everyone. This is Up Your Rank FPL. We are your hosts. I'm AC. That's Bry bringing you another episode. This time around, Game Week 9 review. As always, if you guys are new around here, you like the content that we're bringing you, make sure that you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter at Up Your Rank FPL. Let's get it. Bry, my guy, Wagwan, Game Week 9, done and gone. I know you smiling.
Hey man, I'm smiling for a couple of reasons. A couple of reasons. I think it was a great game week. It was a very exciting game week. A lot of goals this game week, man. A lot of goals in these games. Happy to see the Chelsea, the Blues, pull out a win. I only saw the highlights. I couldn't bear to watch that team after they went 1-0 down. I couldn't stomach watching any more of that game. So I jumped off. I jumped off. I'm not gonna lie. So I saw the highlights. But overall, happy with the week, man. Very exciting week of football. How did you find things, man? What were your thoughts on the week? Just kind of high level.
I need to get off my chest. Liverpool is ass. Liverpool is ASS. I am frustrated with that team. That team is ass. Listen, I came out of the I need to get this off my chest. I came out of the shower. Yeah, I washed my hair. I was getting ready for a going away party. Had a wedding the very next day. I'm like, it's Brighton. Biggest chance of keeping the clean sheet, they say. That's why I don't mess with those stats. Biggest odds of keeping the clean sheet, they say.
Yep.
Only to come out of the shower. What are we, 20 minutes into the game? And I turn on the
Mm.
score. It said 2-0. Listen, I threw the remote across the room. I'm already screaming. I open up the app. I'm looking at my team. My team is in shambles. I'm upset. I activated the wild card. You know how much stuff I need to get off my chest right now? My chest is
Ah,
hurting. My chest is hurting only for the team to go up 3-2 to let the W slip
yeah,
because of poor
crazy,
marking defensively. This
crazy.
team is, in my opinion, and I think a lot of fans' opinions right now, ass. And when we say ass, we mean you're not living up to the expectation that we have of you. Sure, you might be performing better than half the league, but that don't matter when you're LFC, when you've won every single title possible under Jurgen Klopp. What are we talking about right now? Who are you guys? Trent? Why did I bring you
Yeah.
back into my team on wildcard? Why did I let KDB off my team on wildcard? All because I'm worried about Champions League. Why did I let Martinelli go? Why did I let Jesus go? I have a lot to get off of my chest. I can't breathe.
Yo,
I can't breathe.
honestly, honestly, I think that Liverpool game was crazy. When I was watching the Chelsea game, we got scored on pretty early, and as
Mhm.
soon as the goal went in, and I saw that it wasn't Zaha who scored or assisted it, I just switched over to the Liverpool game. And that game was crazy to watch to see how poor defensively Trent looks. I feel like he was at fault at some point for all of the goals. I
Yo.
really did. I really do. Like I actually felt like wow, like for every goal, he was at fault in some way. So
Yeah.
I feel your frustration there, man. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. It looks like VVD, like Van Dijk is not as I'm not going to say he's not playing well because he is, but he doesn't seem as commanding of the entire back line like he normally does.
Mhm.
That's his partner's also been chopped and changed. I think this is like he's probably played with like three different people at center back with him so far this season. Trent doesn't look like he's ready defensively or really offensively that much for that matter. I know that's not really a big thing that we're looking at because those are all bonuses from him, but offensively, I don't think he's necessarily clicking that much either. And that used to outweigh how poor he is defensively. So I feel your frustration, man. I feel it.
Yeah, it's he needs to go. If people have him on the team, to be honest with you, there's two tough fixtures that are coming up. Ship him out. Ship him out. Don't even stress. Just ship him out. Too much money,
Is that what
no
you're planning
value.
on doing?
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I'm probably already gonna hit. When we're done this conversation, I wish I had the chance to do it before we started. I hope he didn't drop in price. He probably did. Who knows? But he's out of my team. I don't know why. It's because of the odds. Like the one time I say to myself, let me go with these stats. Same thing with Tony. Let me go with the stats. But I don't like to play the odds. I don't like to just look at these numbers and say, okay, this is going to lead to this because 3 goals, odds of keeping a clean sheet and you let in 3 goals. So, hey man, hey, it is what it is. I have a lot to get off my chest in a positive way.
Okay.
I didn't decide to change up the captaincy, left it on Haaland.
Look,
Yo,
that would have been a disaster.
oof.
For anyone who took the armband off of Holland for any reason, I don't care who you captained. That was a disastrous play. I know
Punching
it's
air
something.
right now.
Yeah, I know it's something that I talked about as well. Last podcast that I didn't say to do it, but I said it was. I think I framed it as this is a potential week where you could throw up that gamble because I
Right.
didn't see him getting multiple returns. Yeah. Very wrong. Very, very, very wrong.
Yo,
Very wrong.
the kid is insane.
I'm gonna leave it to you to say your piece on it, and then I'll jump in on my end. But yeah, I was very wrong there.
Listen, how about we just have a look at the team, and as we're looking at our teams, we can further analyze how the game week went.
All right, let's do it. Sounds good. All right, bring up your team. Let's see what we're working with. Show us how the game week went.
Bet. So the team is up. I activated the wild card, and surprisingly, I still got 84 points, which is above the game week average of 68. Oddly enough, I'm still overall ranked within 450K. I'm pretty sure I saw a red arrow. Let me just scroll down real quick and see. Actually, my overall saw a green arrow, surprisingly, but 84 points on the game week. But to be honest with you, had I not activated the wild card, I would have been 100 plus. Had I done nothing to my team. The problem is that I had already taken out Isak. So
Mm,
a little different than how we normally do. I'm starting from the front.
okay.
I'm starting from the front because we have Mitrovic who went off injured.
Oh my God, the injury that you talked about last week, everybody, it was a topic of discussion. You spent a fair bit of time touching on that too and
And look,
weighing that up.
but didn't we also say that they were gonna play him into the ground? They were gonna if
Yep.
he could go, he was gonna start regardless of the injury. We knew he had a knock. Lo and behold, the man, what did he even get 30 minutes and got
Nope.
a yellow card? 0 points.
Nope.
Second up Spias, no reason. I'm not upset that I held him because the fixtures that are coming up are still good, but now it's a matter of waiting for the press conference to see what's going to be going down. They got West Ham, Bournemouth, Villa, Leeds, Everton. I mean, I'm still going to hold. I'm going to wait for the
Yeah.
news and just kind of see what happens. I'm not holding my breath. If he doesn't play against West Ham, I'm kind of preparing myself for that. And
Okay.
I feel like I will have a strong enough bench. But Tony, the same guy who I said, like, why did I bring him back into my team for a 1 pointer and a yellow card? Like, why? Because everyone, I just felt as though I needed him in the squad. The time that I got rid of him and he burned me, I should say to myself, he's done. I think after this, when the time comes to move Tony, I'm
You're
done. But
done.
again, he's not a fire per se, but Newcastle, Brighton, these are not even these are going to be tough defensive fixtures.
Yeah.
Offensive for him, of course, because of the defenses on the other team. So 1 point, but Haaland, thank God I left the armband on him. 46 points, 3 goals, 2 assists. My God, gave United the work, but again, City conceding. It's strange. I'm liking this season with a lot of the goals, but with all these teams conceding, I think having four defenders is really a waste in everybody's team. That's how I'm feeling. I feel like the formation needs to just be three in the back. Period.
I'm gonna give you a stat for the clean sheets.
Mm.
Out of the last 57 games that have been played in the Premier League, that's over like 5+ game weeks. Out of 57 games, if you times that by two for each team, that's 114 opportunities for a team to get a clean sheet, right?
Mm.
We've only gotten 28 clean sheets out of the last 114 opportunities for clean
Mud.
sheets.
Mud.
That's just a joke. Like
That's
that's a
nobody
joke.
wants to play defense
That's
this
a
year,
joke.
or
That is just a
everybody has
joke.
it ticking on offense. So honestly, my front line is saved by Haaland, and I think most managers can say that because my game week rank was almost 2 million. It's not really saying much when you have I'm well above the average points, but my game week rank in and of itself is only at the 2 million mark. So Haaland comes through, saves the day. Thank God. But in the middle of the pitch, I took out, remember, I'm on my wild card. I took out KDB. Why did I take out KDB? Because I didn't want to already use my wild card and plan for
A
more
transfer.
transfers. It was either going to be keep Salah and keep Son. So in reality, I went the Salah route because I knew that Kane was going to get a goal against Arsenal. And yes, he did. But I wasn't 100% sure that Son would in that particular game. I do want Son, but I think I want him more for that Everton fixture.
Okay.
And I think that's the game where Liverpool is facing City. So I said, let me grab Salah for a couple of game weeks and then move on to Son and then maybe bring Salah back because I don't know if Salah's really going to be jumping in price like that,
Yeah.
especially after, again, 12.8 million, only getting 5 points. He did get the
Yeah.
assist. They almost said it was offside.
Yeah.
It was very close.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it, I wasn't gonna keep KDB. I did have him in the wild card, but again, I didn't want to anticipate and plan for that transfer and get stuck with all these Arsenal and City players, only for all of them to return, except for Cancelo. So no more Gabriel Jesus, Martinelli. That was not an assist. So let me get that off my chest. That was not an assist for Martinelli, and everybody knows it. It wasn't an assist. Just like it wasn't an assist for Bowen.
Oh, Bowens was criminal.
It
No,
wasn't an assist.
Bowens. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if you saw my message in our group chat. We have a group chat with a bunch of our buddies who all play FPL, and I said, "Yo, that I didn't even realize they gave him the assist until well after because I thought he only got the goal."
Hmm.
And when I saw they gave him the assist, I said that's criminal. That's a crime.
That's
That's a crime, man.
that
That's
is
robbery.
insane. That's robbery. But hey,
That is robbery.
whoever is calculating the assists and the for FPL in the background, they had Bowen on their team.
Of course it
They
did.
had Bowen on their team.
There's no reason to give him that assist. I
There was
don't even
no
understand.
assist.
I don't know. I
So
don't know.
I was staying far away from those players anyway. Zaha, we kind of anticipated that Zaha wasn't really going to do much against Chelsea. You said it yourself that you brought him in more so for what he's going to do in the upcoming game weeks. So
Yeah.
for him to only get the 2 pointer, it was expected. Bailey, a little disappointed, was hoping he could be a differential, 2 points. I think he got a yellow card because it was a clean sheet in the Villa game. Nothing
He,
happened.
and he got the yellow card literally 1 second before he came off the pitch. Like they were about to sub him, he got the yellow and then walked off to get sub.
Yeah, so it's kind of annoying. But Madison, the one who a lot of us were targeting, and he was a differential at the time. I'm pretty sure he was under 10% ownership.
Yeah, under 10% at the time.
He was under 10%. So if I click on him right now, he's at 11.5. But when the game week start, because he's already gone up in price, I think, or he's
Yeah, I
about
think
to go up in price, one of them.
yeah, yeah.
So a great differential for us to have him on the team. 2 goals and an assist, I believe it was. I didn't get to watch the game today. At the time of recording, it's the same day. But oh man,
He
everyone,
was
I
incredible.
can't. I gotta watch. You watched it?
I watched it live. He
Oh,
was incredible. He
oh
was
man.
he did exactly what we expected him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Scored off a free kick. To be honest, I know he got the goal and the assist, but he could have easily ended that game with 2 goals, 3 assists, 4 assists. Like the amount of big chances he created was worthy of his point tally.
Well, I'm very happy that I mean it really wasn't a question on wild card to not have Madison on wild card. If you didn't have either Madison, Zaha, or Bowen, one of the three, for me it wasn't going to be Bowen because I didn't like how West Ham was playing. But between a Madison and the Zaha, it just made sense for these fixtures that are coming up, and I'm very happy with the move. Cancelo, I'm not gonna say that I expected them to keep a clean sheet against United. United can still bang offensively; they still can score goals if even if they're not winning. So for them to ship 3 past City, I think I was a little surprised. But Cancelo, 1 point, it is what it is. Trippier, whew, thank God he came off before the clean sheet was wiped.
Yeah,
So for the
yeah.
double, for the people who have double Newcastle. I'm still happy that I didn't buy Pope because he was expensive.
Mm-hmm.
However, for me to move Ward out of my team after the 8 game weeks of nothing, he actually gets a haul with 8 points, and I brought in Jose Sa for two
Crazy,
points, and I didn't
crazy.
expect you were right. You were right about who you anticipated to have the better chances of who's going to score versus who's going to keep a clean sheet. You said West Ham has a better chance of keeping a clean sheet than the Wolves have a chance of scoring. I was just kind of banking that maybe the Wolves were going to also keep the clean sheet and it would have been 0-0 because I know
Fair.
offensively they don't have it. But Bowen punished me. When I saw the assist, I was already upset. But then when I saw the goal, I was well bent. It was super cheese. I know we have Trent with the 0 we were already talking about, so I ain't giving no love. 84 points on my bench. Thank God nobody came in because Nico Williams would have given me a -1. Did not expect that thrashing against Leicester from
Yeah,
Leicester. Not a thrashing. A win, sure, not a thrashing. Andreas with the 2 points, Gahey with the 1 point. Iverson did not get the start.
crazy,
He did not get this
crazy,
Brendan
crazy.
Rodgers right now, this was the game that was gonna decide your fate, and you still went with Ward. Yo, you're a brave man.
Yeah,
You're a brave man.
and I'm going to be honest. Ward looked poor. I'm going to be honest. He looked bad. He looked. I forget the Nottingham Forest striker's name. Awani hit the post
Mm,
from some bad goalkeeping 1-on-1. Didn't close down the space. There was another time where he could, like, if Awani just, instead of trying to strike, he just chipped him. Ward was caught in no man's land. It would have been an
mm.
easy just, chip the keeper's well outside of his goal. There's just a couple of plays that he made where you just look and you say, this keeper is not going to keep more than 3 clean sheets all year, fam.
Very.
Like
I gotta
yeah,
watch the game or the highlights at least, but very lucky, just based on
yeah,
what you're telling me because
yeah.
we've said it already. He doesn't even look like he belongs in the championship.
He really doesn't. He really doesn't.
So overall, that's my team. I was disappointed after the Saturday games because I swear I was on 15 points. If it wasn't for Haaland and Madison, it would have been a disastrous game week for me because they were really the only two people who did anything. If you're looking at literally Trippier, Salah, Madison, and Haaland are the only people who got any return, and I somehow got 84 points off of four players.
Yeah.
Off of four players, 84 points. Jesus Christ. Like that is insane. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen like something like that. That's not a double game week. Um, I'm playing the long game. The long game was to really plan for game week 10 forward.
Yeah.
I know it's early, but the player who's leaving my team is Trent Alexander Arnold for Reece James. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
Well, show us your team, man. How did you do on the game week?
All right. All right. Bet. Let's pull it up. All right. So this is how the team performed for the game week. Scored 102 points. Anytime you pass over the century mark, it's been a solid game week. Game
Brushing
week
it off for
rank.
you. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt, but I'm just brushing this off for you, man.
It couldn't. I mean, it could have gone better, but there's nothing to complain about here. Game week rank a
Jeez.
205K, which is excellent, right? Green Arrow taking the overall rank to 1.1. mil, just a little bit, 1.130 mil, from, coming from 2+ million. So it was definitely a big jump this game week.
Mhm.
Couple of key players to really attribute to that. And like you, I'm actually going to start up front with Erling Haaland. So I know you touched on how he performed throughout the week. And here's the issue with Haaland now.
Issue.
The issue is he's now the highest owned player. He's now past Gabriel Jesus
Yep.
at 81%. So
Mhm.
he's now 82.4%. He's the highest owned player in FPL ever.
Mhm.
We are 9 game weeks in. He is
Mhm.
4 points off of 100
Mhm.
total FPL points. Everybody has him who is
Mhm.
playing this game. If you don't have Holland and you're playing, I'm not quite sure what you're really saying. Um, and he's looking like he's going to be an automatic perma captain, because when you think about it, this is the thing that like is tough. When you think about the games that you wouldn't captain Holland in, there are only what, 5 teams that come to mind. Maybe you say, okay, you're not go captain him against Liverpool. You're going to do that based on how Liverpool is currently playing. You'd
Mhm.
say, oh, you're not going to captain him against Chelsea. You do that based on how they're currently playing.
Mhm.
Tottenham isn't necessarily keeping a ton of clean sheets. Arsenal is maybe the only team right now where you'd say, okay, yeah, maybe Arsenal defensively is doing a little bit better. But I would still captain him against them just based on the ownership. So that's why I say it's a little bit sad. It's a little bit of good, of some good and bad with Holland, because everybody has him, and him going off like he did this game week, isn't really going to necessarily help your rank that much. You know what I mean? Mitro, like you touched on, 0 points, played less than 30 minutes, got the yellow card, didn't do anything. Injuries there to hurt him. Honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do with Mitro right now. I hope the news is that he's fine and he can play, because I don't actually think there's any other strikers right now that I want to jump on that I can easily get to.
Mhm.
I'd maybe love to get to Wilson, but I think I would look very crazy with triple Newcastle. I just don't see, you know what I mean? I just can't see myself doing that. I don't necessarily want to jump to Tony. So I'm more so just hoping Mitro's all right. Otherwise, I actually might look at completely downgrading him and maybe upgrading a midfielder.
Mhm.
Kane, uh, North London Derby, does his thing again, gets
Every
another
time.
goal
Every
every
time.
time. It's kind of inevitable now. He loves scoring against Arsenal. So I'll take the 6 points there. Zaha, wasn't expecting anything from him for this particular game. Like you mentioned, I brought him in for the next 5, 6, 7 fixtures. So no complaints about the 2 pointer. Bowen, a big 14 points. Bowen gets the goal, the assists, and all 3 bonus, gets the clean sheet point, gets the 2 points for the minutes played. Very happy with how he performed. Very unexpected. I was actually getting a little bit worried that the punt wasn't going to pay off at all from the wild card, but
Mhm.
happy with the 14 pointer. Kind of what I was hoping for. So very happy there. Madison, you touched on, he was incredible tonight. Best player on the field by like a big landslide. Martinelli actually ended up getting subbed on for me because I had Sufal not play any minutes, and Martinelli was first off the bench.
Right.
Martinelli got the assist. I'll gladly take the 4 points. Sufal has now become a big concern in my team, because it looks like he's lost his place to this new guy, Care, I think is how you pronounce his name. I watched this game as well. The new right back looks way better than Sufal. I'm not even gonna lie. He also got an assist, got the clean sheet. So I can't see David Moyes bringing Sufal in for the starting job immediately. So I don't know what I'm going to do with Sufal right now. And the worst part about it is I brought in the West Ham defense because I just knew that Wolves wouldn't score.
Mhm.
That happens, but my guy doesn't play. So
Right.
I missed out on a really I mainly just missed out on 2 points, but it is
Yeah.
what it is, you know. How to chalk it up. Reece James, another game, no clean sheet for Chelsea. It's is what it is. I'm not really going to move Reece James right now. I don't see anyone else to really move him to. Maybe an Arsenal defender, but their fixtures aren't that hot right now. So
Yeah.
I have no. I'm just going to keep him. It is what it is. He's playing. Hopefully they can turn it around. Cancelo is kind of the very same. The lack of clean sheets is crazy, but I don't really have a need for funds. You know, City is going to dominate games possession wise. Clean sheets will come and go, so he's not going anywhere. Happy with Trippier getting subbed off as well, and getting the clean sheet. And then Pope, hey, you know what? I've Again, we're now 9 game weeks in. I've not gotten a single clean sheet point from my goalkeeper. I've not gotten a single save point from my goalkeeper. It's crazy. I don't even know what to do. I'm gonna just leave Pope. Hopefully they figure it out. And keep going. And you know, that's the one thing I want to get off my chest because that Newcastle game was completely wrapped up. They were 4-0 up, cruising to an easy victory, and then
Mhm.
they let in a sloppy goal
Mhm.
just to ruin the clean sheet for no reason.
Mhm.
So it is what it is. You know, very happy with how the team performed. Looking, just kind of glancing into next week and what I'm thinking, outside of Mitro, you know, not being fit for the game, I can't really see me making any subs. I was a little bit concerned with Martinelli playing Liverpool, but honestly, based on how Trent looked, Martinelli plays on Trent's side. I'm not so fearful of that. I think I'm actually going to be starting him going into next game week. So I don't think I'm going to make any major moves, barring, you know, some type of injury news coming out.
Right. Before we wrap up, I think again, early talks about game week 10. I have a general comment. I want to just talk about a fixture that I may look to target because maybe some things are turning around. And given the recent injury to Mitrovic,
Hmm.
who is pretty unfortunate, and perhaps there is a level of feeling alive, feeling
Hmm.
like, hey, we can do this. I feel like West Ham defense may
Hmm.
be something to target given the price point for their players. Now, the last time that West Ham and Fulham went head to head, I believe it was a 0-0 draw. And West Ham have kept 3 out of 4 clean sheets the last time that they faced Fulham. Now, I get it. That's not saying much, right? Some of these games are probably from 2 years ago. And before then, with the up and down of West Ham. But I do believe with West Ham playing at home,
Hmm.
maybe they're going to want to, hey, how can we keep this momentum going? If Fulham doesn't have their talisman, who else is going to create the opportunities for them? From what I saw in the game, when they faced um, Newcastle, not much was really going on for them. It should have been a 4-0 game, like you said. Like
Yep.
you said, it was just a miss at like
Sloppy. It was a
just
sloppy
sloppy,
go. Yeah.
just sloppy. Now, I'm not saying that there are people on West Ham, sorry, not on West Ham, on Fulham that are unable to score. We've seen it already. The likes of Bobby De Cordova Reed is able to put the ball in the net. Polina, if I'm saying the name correctly, is able to put the ball in the net. We know this, but you know, if there is a game that I think we could perhaps target defensively, and I bring up defensively because it's hard to come across some clean sheets these days.
Yeah,
It's
man.
super hard to come across clean sheets. So you know what? Maybe earlier what I was talking about Trent becoming Reece James, it's a juicier fixture. I think in with respects to Chelsea versus
Wolves.
Chelsea versus Wolves, like I think that is still a good fixture, right? You're saying that
Absolutely.
Wolves they're not able to score, but maybe if you don't have the funds, you can look at a West Ham defender who is able who you're able to bring in the likes of a Kurt Zuma, the likes of a Cresswell, the likes of a Keller, if I'm saying that name right, or however
Yeah.
you pronounce his name. They're significantly cheaper than a Reece James. But then again, Fofana started the game. Potter started him at 4.4 mil. He might look to be a steal. So who knows where that goes? But that's my take. That's my early game week 10 talk team to target, specifically for a clean sheet. That's not Chelsea. What do you got about anything related to game week 10?
Two things that I want to mention, and it's more so related to um players specifically. One, Nottingham Forest, I know that there are many people who have Nico Williams in their team. Based on the game today, and this has happened earlier in the season already, Nico Williams was absolutely ran all over the pitch by Harvey Barnes today. It was a disaster. So much so that the coach hooked him. I think it was at halftime
Halftime. Mm-hmm.
again and brought on Serge Aurier.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you might remember us bringing up Serge Aurier from earlier in preseason when the transfer initially happened. And it was mentioned that, hey, this is someone that we might need to keep an eye on because Aurier could potentially take some minutes from him.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to look at that Villa fixture just to see if he loses his spot. I think that it could be an interesting time like now for him to lose that spot, right? So one player that I want to look at there.
Do you say that in a sense to say that do we care to target Nottingham Forest defenders that are
Not in
not
the no, oh no, no,
okay?
no, 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 because Nottingham Forest is a team that you need to target their defense. I think
If
they're
you
one
have an
of
offensive player on,
yeah, if you have an
yeah,
offensive player, that's a defense to target. Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, these are teams that need to. Leicester, it was
that,
Leicester. I'm not taking Leicester off the hook just
okay,
yet.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
keeping Leicester there as well.
Mhm.
Those are kind of the three defenses that you definitely want to target because their goals there. Um, the other player that I want to touch on is one of the hat trick heroes of the game week. We didn't really give him much love during the pod today, but
Trossard.
Leandro Trossard has
Yeah,
been really incredible. I looked at his stats going back to before last season ended. So I think I looked at his stats up to like game week 30 from last season. Trossard has been blazing hot. So far this season, he already has 5 goals, 2 assists. I know just scored the hat trick in this Liverpool game, but he is someone to keep an eye on. If he continues to return at the rate that he is now, I do think that he's someone that we're gonna want to just keep tabs on. He's already had 2 double-digit returns this season.
he's
Of
capable of
course,
those.
he's very much capable of it. I think he's an interesting player. He's also at that like very interesting price point. I think he's at 6.7
Yeah.
mil right now. So he's very affordable depending on how your team is made up.
Mhm.
And you can if anything happens to Mitro, I could like if Mitro's out long term, I could easily see me downgrading Mitro and upgrading someone like Andreas to Trossard and
Right.
just playing five in the mid. So those are kind of the two players that I'm really keeping an eye on. Just for potential fires. One with Nico Williams, I already have Vladimir Sufal. I touched on how that's going to be an issue. I already see it as an issue in my team right now,
Mhm.
but Trossard might be someone who I might want to look at after the fixtures turn a little bit. I know their next few are a little bit tougher. They have Tottenham, then Brentford, but then after that, it's Nottingham Forest, then City, Chelsea. And then I think after game week 14 is when, I might potentially look at him. So something to keep in mind those are the two people who I have an eye on.
I will say, I don't know if you recall this, but there was when everyone was bringing in Pascal, like I wasn't sold. I personally wasn't sold. Trossard is the man who I have a little bit of a soft spot for because a long, long time ago, a few seasons ago, definitely on a random punt play, I remember bringing in Trossard, and he got a double-digit haul on a game week where I think the average was something super low. I'm talking about like 20s or
Mm,
30s. I think it might have been my first, maybe my second season playing FPL.
mm,
And I just remember you and one of our buddies commenting on a move that I made, and you're like, "What the hell? You brought in Leandro Trossard?
yeah,
Like
like
what?"
really.
And it was a random pick. I think I was the only one of the only ones in our mini league, and he helped me that particular game week. And it was an interesting move, but I don't find him to be a consistent enough player to hold on to long term. He kind of reminds me of James Ward-Prowse,
Mm,
where you're kind of he is able to get those double digit hauls. You just don't know when he's going to get it, and then sometimes he gets it against the teams who you least expect him to do that against. And
yep.
sometimes I'm starting to wonder if FPO we just got to take those gambles and be like, yo, who cares if this says fixture difficulty rating of 4? I'm bringing him in.
Yeah, you
That's the
got it.
game week he's gonna
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, you got to ignore the fixer difficulty with certain players. Um,
Zaha's one of them. I
yeah,
think Zaha's one of them.
you just got to Zaha. Like I think those are players who, if you're gonna bring them in, you just got to just leave them and just let them tick over because you don't know when the returns are gonna come in. You just don't know.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I mean, overall, this has been a crazy game week. I want to thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Up Your Rank FPL. You can follow us on Twitter at Up Your Rank FPL. If you're new around here, please be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you can get the latest notifications for when we drop a new video. Hit the like button, and please be sure to share that with your FPL buddies. Get them some of that content. We'll catch y'all in the next one. Have a great game week. Looking forward to touching base. Peace.